This automation uses AI to generate responses to lead inquiries via email and send back those responses, or create drafts for your team to send back automatically. Right now, the automation is set up to only go and create an email draft and then send me a notification on my phone. So I'll show you two examples with that, and then we'll run an example where the email just automatically gets sent through. You can see that I've got 3 drafts written up. So we've got a birthday celebration, we've got a corporate event, we've got a wedding planning inquiry. Right now, this automation is set up for an event planner called Living It and trained on that company's custom information. But you can obviously set this up with your own company information so that it acts as an email responder for you. Let's give it a try and send the first 2 emails through. So we'll send this one through and we'll send this one through. Now you can see in my email, they've showed up over here, ready to get a response. And then if I pull up my email, you can see that I've got those 2 emails ready and they now need a response. So what we'll do is we'll jump over into our scenario and run it, and let's see what happens. So it's going to check for those emails. Once it's checked for those emails, it'll go ahead and write a response. It'll then go and create a draft for us and send us a notification. And it'll do that with the second email as well. So it's busy generating the response for the second email. It'll generate the draft and then send me a notification. And you can see here on my phone that I've got a notification ready for me. So I can go ahead and review the draft by clicking on that, but I'll show you on my computer instead. And now if I pull up that email account, you can see that there are 2 drafts ready for me. The first one is for the corporate event. There you go, the draft is ready. I can then go ahead and modify this as I want to, and I can send it back. And then for the wedding planning, it's ready, and I can send it back once I'm happy. And then on the client side, they'll see that email pop up in their inbox ready with a response based on their inquiry. But now, what if you didn't want your team having to look at every single one of the drafts before they get sent out, and you just want the system to send out the emails with a response automatically? Well, then you would jump into here and you would disable the draft route and you would enable the sending the email route. So let's give it a try. We'll jump into our drafts and we'll send an inquiry for a birthday celebration. We can then jump back into our email and you can see the birthday celebration inquiry right there. And if we then jump over into our system and we run that, it'll find that email, it'll generate a response for that email, and it'll automatically send that email back with a team notification. And there we go. If we jump back into our inbox, we can see that we got a response for our inquiry, and it's a personalized response asking us to now book a call with the team. So let's have a look at how this system is set up. So we've got a very simple make.com scenario with a few different modules in here, and it honestly only chooses one of these routes. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, essentially, just 4 steps of this automation, and I'll show you how to set everything up. So first thing is we are watching for emails. So we connected our email account here, and we are searching all of our emails, but we want to filter where the subject line of the email has the word inquiry. Because we only want to be responding to inquiries. And then you would set it up on your website so that if someone were to reach out for an inquiry, the subject of their email would have the word inquiry in it. Very simple to set that up. And so once you've uploaded this scenario to your make.com account and you can start configuring it, you just want to open up this first one and create a connection to your email account so that it can search your inbox. If you're not sure how to do that, you can see the online help here and it'll walk you through step-by-step how to do that. Very simple. And then you can change it. If you don't want the subject to include inquiry, you can change it to whatever is going to make sense for you, or you can get rid of it entirely and it'll just generate drafts for pretty much every email that comes through. But you can honestly filter this in whatever way is going to make the most amount of sense for you. So you can filter it by the folder. So you can see that in my email, I've got a bunch of folders here. So you can select which folder you want to generate responses to. But it's typically just the easiest to filter by a subject line of inquiry or whatever other keyword is going to work for you and your use case. And so once you've done that, just make sure that the maximum number of results is set to more than 1. It'll default to 1, but you don't only want to be responding to 1 email at a time. If you get multiple emails within the span of 15 minutes, you want to make sure that a response is generated and sent back for every single one of the emails. So just set this number to a big enough number to make sure that you're not cutting off emails. I've just set it to 20 because you're not typically getting more than 20 emails inquiries within the span of like 5 minutes. But if you do, just increase it to 50 or 100 or whatever makes sense. There's really no limit here. And once you've done that, you can hit save. And then we want to link AI into the system. And what we're using for AI in this system is a ChatGPT model, essentially. Now, the exact step that we're actually using here, if we open up a module and we open the OpenAI account, we would be using create a model response. And then you would just set that up. So I'm going to show you how to create a connection. You would just hit add, and it's going to ask you for your connection name. So you can name it whatever makes sense to you. And then it's going to ask you for an API key. Now, where you find this information is inside of your OpenAI platform account. So you would go to platform.openai.com. And now where you find this information is inside of your OpenAI account. And so you would go to the URL, which is platform.openai.com, and you'll see that in this resource document. And you can go ahead and just create an account if you don't already have one. It is completely free, and you'll get started with some basic usage. And then you just want to make sure you have a project open. So I've already got the showcases project. You jump over into your dashboard, and this should be something very similar of what you're seeing. And then all you need to do is you need to jump over into your API keys, and you need to create a new secret key. You can name it, you create the secret key, and then it'll give you that API key, which you can just copy, and that's what you'll paste into this API key field right there. Just name the connection whatever makes sense. I've named it showcases because that's what this is. It's a showcase, but you can name it whatever makes sense to you and hit save, and that'll create a connection for you. As you can see, I've already got a ton of connections open. I would just select my showcases connection, and then we can select the model. I don't recommend needing like a really big model because you're going to pay for the larger the model that you use. For this system, I've already got it set up to be using the GPT-4o Mini 2024-0718. It's a model that I use all the time, and it's very cost effective and it's great. And so it's as simple as that. You've set up that OpenAI account, and we can see that a lot of it will already be pre-populated for you. You'll see this here already. And now you just want to make sure that you're setting this up so that your AI is responding in the way that you actually want it to respond, and it's using relevant information for your company. Now, the way that you can do this is with what's called a knowledge base. So you'll see I don't have any of the company information in here. I'm just telling through the prompt, telling the AI how I want it to respond, what it's doing. You're writing an email response as a representative from our team to a new lead inquiry, ask them to book a call using this URL, and we're providing the message from the lead, which is the text content from the email that we got, and we're providing the name of the lead, so it's personalized, so it says, "Hey Cristo, here is the information you requested," and I'm giving it a tone of voice. I'm telling it that it only needs to return the actual body text, like the content that we're going to be sending back. We'll take care of the subject line ourselves, and I'm asking it not to use any placeholders in your response. I don't want it to say, "Hi name," and then I have to go and fill out name. I wanted to say, "Hi, Cristo," using the name that I'm giving it. So that's just kind of how I've set it up. There's no real right or wrong way to do this. It's just like explain to your AI how you want it done in this prompt field and give it the context that it needs. And so this will be here as you upload the system. And so this will be here if you upload the blueprint that I have provided, but you can modify this as you want. And then the only other thing that you'll see here is that we have got a tool enabled, which is the file search tool. And this is exactly where that custom information is coming from, where we've got company information that the AI is going to use to respond accurately on behalf of your company. Now, it's actually really simple to set this up. You can just jump onto ChatGPT and ask it to create a knowledge base for you, and then just brain dump. Tell it about your company, tell it all the information that it needs. You can even give it your company's website URL for it to take information from there. And all you're doing is you're just asking AI to generate a document that gives all the information of your company, your working hours, how much you charge, what services you offer, who's in your team, basically all the information that you can about your company. You're putting it all onto one document. And so for the purpose of this demo, what I've actually done is I've asked AI to generate like a demo document for me for this event company called Living It. And so you can see if I pull that up for us, we've got a knowledge base, which is Living It events, and we've got a company overview, we've got our core services here, we've got our package and pricing, we've got our process overview, we've even got a brand voice and tone for different responses, and a list of FAQs. So what you're trying to do with ChatGPT is generate a document for yourself that looks something like this. It should take you like 2 minutes of just explaining to ChatGPT what you do as a company and asking it to generate a knowledge base document for you. And you can just copy and paste it onto a Google Drive, and you can just copy and paste it into a Google Doc and download the PDF, or you can even download from ChatGPT directly. And so it really is as simple as that. And then all we're going to go ahead and do is jump into our platform where you generated your API key, and you're going to jump into storage, and then you're going to jump into vector storages, and you're going to create a vector storage. So I've already got one, but I'll show you how it looks if you create one. So you would call it your company name knowledge base. So company name knowledge base, I just say KB for short, and then you would hit save, and then it'll show you that there are files attached. And if you want to attach a file, you just hit add files, and you would upload that document that you've now created from your computer directly. It'll upload, give it a second, hit attach, and there you go. You'll see it's ready just like that. You're good to go. And then back over in make.com, what you'll see happen inside of this module, if we refresh it and go down into the file search, you'll see that that company name knowledge base now shows up. So I obviously don't want to use that one. I'm going to keep using the living it events knowledge base that I've already created. But all you want to do is you just want to select it. And that way, this AI model is always going to go and take information from that document as it generates responses. As simple as that. Once you've got that set up, you can go ahead and just hit save. And now for this last part, you can just decide what's going to work for you. So I've got it set up in both cases where the system can either go ahead and create an email draft for you, or it can send the email for you directly. You have to decide what's going to work best for your company. If you want to just see the emails that are being drafted and have them drafted for you so that all you have to do is just check them, like, yeah, this is good, hit send, then that's great. Or if you want AI to just send the email directly on behalf of you, then that's great as well. Either way, I've included both there for you so you can choose what works best for you. If you just want the system generating drafts for you, what you would do is you would right click on this little path and you would say enable this route, because that's the route that creates the email drafts. And then you would right click on this one and disable this route. That way it won't send the emails, it'll only generate the drafts. But if you want them to send the emails, then you would do vice versa. You would disable this route and enable this one. And now the way that this is set up is super simple. You would open up the module and you'll see, okay, who are we sending the email to? And we're mapping this in from whoever sent us the email. So you can see all of these orange pieces here, they're all coming from this first module here. And this first module is the email that we got, right? We're pulling from that email that we got. And so as part of that, what it's actually giving us is the sender's name and the sender's email address. And so what we want to do is we want to send the email back to whoever sent us the email. And so we're just selecting the sender's email address. So you can do that quite simply by just clicking in the box where you want to put the email address and then finding it, which is under sender and the sender's email address, just like that. You click it and it'll pop up. Now, if you've downloaded the template for this and uploaded it, this will be pre-configured for you, but it's cool to just know what's going on. And then in terms of the subject, we are sending the exact same subject that they sent to us so that they know where it's coming from. And the content type is just gonna be plain text. We're not sending some code back in HTML so that it looks fancy. We're just sending some text back. And the text that we're sending back is the result from our AI generated response, which is just this right here. And so once again, you would just click into the box of what content you're sending and you would hit result, and that'll map in for you. As simple as that. You can then go ahead and hit save, and that will automatically then create the email draft for you in your inbox account for you to go ahead and review. And now for the last step, you want to just be notified whenever you get an inquiry and an email is either generated as a draft for you or generated an actual response that has been sent back. You just want to get a notification. And so I'm on iPhone, so I just use the make.com push notification feature that they've got built in. So you just need the make.com app downloaded and that'll be perfect. And you can then just go ahead and connect your device. Really simple to do. And then I've just set it up to say the title of the notification is new lead inquiry with the body of I've drafted an email response, please review it. And then the action, if I click on the notification, it'll take me to my drafts folder, and that URL is just over here. If I go into my drafts folder, I've just gone ahead and copied this and pasted it in right over there, and it'll deliver it immediately. Save. As simple as that. Now you can change it up for yourself if you want to just rather get an email notification to notify you instead of like an iPhone notification, and you can do that. Now if you also want a notification on your phone but you're not on an iPhone and you're on an Android, you can do the same thing. You would just search up Android and you can open up the Android module and you'll see that there's a push notification option right there. Again, just set it up, simple as that. And now the way that you want to set up this, it really just depends on you. You can send yourself an SMS, you can send yourself a Telegram message, you can send yourself a Slack message, an email. You don't even need to send yourself a notification. I've just set it up because it's quite useful to get a notification when something happens. And that's the overview of the system, really. It's as simple as that. We've got a module set up as our trigger that is watching all of our emails, specifically for inquiries. That then gets triggered, and you can see we've got it set up to run every 15 minutes. And this is up to you. If you want it to run once an hour and then just respond to all the inquiries you get every hour, then do that. If you want to set it up so that it responds to all your inquiries every 15 minutes, every 5 minutes, every 1 minute, that's completely up to you. Super simple to do. You would just click on this little clock icon and then run the scenario at regular intervals every 15 minutes or every 1 minute or every 60 minutes. And you can just modify it accordingly. You can also set it up to run days of the week. So if you don't want it to run on Sundays and Saturdays, that's cool. If that's how you want to run it, then you can modify it accordingly. The thing here is to just really understand, like, you're not boxed in with the features of this. It's a really simple system, so you can modify it. There's not a lot of things going on. You can just change it up however is going to make sense for you. But once an email comes through, we're sending it to an AI model that's trained on company information using that document that was generated based on your unique company information that will generate a response for us on behalf of our team to send back to the lead. And then the system is either going to go ahead and create an email draft, or it's going to go ahead and just send the email directly. And after that, you'll probably have some sort of a notification depending on how you want to be notified. Right now, just sending me a notification to my phone. As simple as that.